Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the Girls Inc. of Santa Fe YouTube channel. It is so close to being summertime, which also means that it is almost warm enough to go camping. But since it's not quite time to go camping yet, and because I was looking for something fun to do, I decided that I would go camping in my living room. I would say the last time that I went camping was in October. So that was like 6 months ago. So I figured that now would be a good time to get some practice. The point of this activity is just to have fun. Switch up your routine a little bit. I don't know about you all, but I've been doing like the same thing every single day while I've been staying home. And I am ready for a change of pace. So tonight, I'm sleeping in a tent in my living room. Snorkel, you want to go camping with me? I don't always know what he's trying to say. All right, so I got everything out that I would normally use if I was going camping outdoors, which included a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, and my tent. And here I am beginning to set my tent up. I'm making sure to be very careful with all of my camping equipment because I would like to use it for years to come. I have to say, setting a tent up inside was a little tricky because my ceilings aren't very high, but the poles to my tent were extremely long. And this brings me to my next point, which is, do you need to have a tent to go camping in your living room? Definitely not. You can just build an epic fort out of blankets and sheets and pillows, and honestly, I might do that next week. I really like sleeping in a tent because it's so cozy and it's my very own space and it feels like a really good place to take me time. I'm wondering how many of you all have been camping before? What do you think? Is this a good way to go camping for the first time? Seems like a fine way to get acquainted with all of your equipment. All right, my tent is set up. So I have my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, and my camping pillow. It's very nice. But you know what? Since I can, because I'm inside my house, I think I'm gonna grab some other things to make my tent even comfier. Here I am putting my comfiest blanket inside of my tent, and then I sat back down and I had an amazing idea. What's like the number one thing to do while going camping? Making s'mores. I was contemplating what I was going to be using instead of marshmallows since I don't have any when I remembered that my roommate bought this seasonal treat at the store. I readied my Peeps s'more with graham crackers, chocolate, my Peep friend, and then another graham cracker on top. And I tried to smush that guy down. It wasn't really working, but in the end, we were ready to go in the microwave. Yeah, so this is how I found out that if you microwave a Peep, they just sort of like explode. It's bad. So besides finding out that Peeps do really cool things when microwaved, that was sort of a fail. So I moved on to my next activity, which was trying to get Snorkel to get into the tent with me, which I had much more success with. Isn't he so handsome? Next up, I got cuddled into my sleeping bag and started reading one of my favorite books. And then it was time to go to sleep, so I said goodnight to my camera and it was time to go to bed. In the morning, I absolutely sprung from my tent, drank a bunch of water like I do every morning, and then it was time to start taking my tent down. Ladies, are we going to leave our tents or our forts up for days to come? Definitely not. Ladies, we are going to put our living rooms back together because we are sharing those spaces with our entire families. All right, everybody, we just went camping in my living room. It was really fun, but more importantly, it was a really nice change in my routine. It just felt like it was a nice way of getting away from my house, even though I was still in my house the whole time. And if you decide to go camping in your living room, I'm really excited to see your setups. But even if you don't decide to go camping in your living room, I'm wondering if there are a few things you can think of that you can do to change your routine. Maybe if you haven't already, write down what your routine has been for the last few weeks. And then take a look at it and find some ways that you can introduce some changes. And then see how it feels to switch things up. It could be nice. It was for me. All right, I'm gonna go get out of my pajamas and get ready for the rest of the day. And I will see everybody later in the next video.